Chaz Berganzo, another What's Next. Happy Thursday, one day closer to Friday. We're going to cover a few things. Guess what, kids? It's time to take a trip back to the land of stupid, back to the land of woke. Never ends. Let's take a look. Right out of the gate. This comes out of Blaze Media. Incarcerated trans man convicted of first-degree murder sues over breast removal surgery, and it was denied. Jason Yoakum, a trans individual convicted of first-degree murder, being held at the Fluvanna Correctional Center for Women in Troy, Virginia, has lodged a complaint against the Virginia Department of Corrections for denying surgery and other treatment related to gender dysphoria, according to court documents, NBC reported. Quote, the complaint lists 10 defendants, including Harold Clark, director of Virginia Department of Corrections, Maria Lefevers, warden of Fluvanna Correction Centers for Women, and other mental health providers for the department, according to the outlet. The suit was brought by Lambda Legal, according to NBC News, which also noted that the convicted, was diagnosed with gender dysphoria by the VA DOC medical providers several years ago, way back in 2017. According to the outlet, the complaint states that early on in life, Yoakum saw himself as a boy and could understand why people wouldn't see him as a girl. Yoakum had lived a man prior to being incarcerated. Guess what, folks? Still a dude. Quote, this is about healthcare, Richard Science, senior attorney at Lambda, who's representing the individual. According to the outlet, Mr. Yoakum and other incarcerated people have a right to healthcare under the Constitution. No, you don't. Does not state one letter or one implication in the Constitution that you have a right to healthcare. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is what you have. And that, kids, was our lesson in Constitution 101. Medical providers have declined to supply Yoakum with mental health services from qualified providers and breast removal surgery, complaint notes, according to the outlet. The only thing I'm asking for is to be treated fairly and have access to the same standard of healthcare and other incarcerated people. Yoakum declared in a statement, according to the outlet, it has been traumatizing, isolating, and stigmatizing to be denied healthcare services to treat gender dysphoria that the VDOC-owned providers have diagnosed. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, at least they call him Mr. Yoakum. At least they didn't give him a woman's name, or he called himself a woman, because, of course, he's not a woman. He's a dude. And the fact is, I just love how the attorneys like to throw the Constitution around, like they're throwing around napkins around at a pizza party. And I said just moments ago, in the Constitution, you do not have a right to health care, just like you do not have a right to a house. You do not have a right to a job. You do not have a right to this. You don't have a right to say, hey, you know what? I'm a woman. I want my breast removed. The Virginia Corrections Department, like, no, you don't, because you're a dude. And for you as a dude to be put in a women's facility, a correctional facility, is outrageous. It is putting all those women at risks. But yet, who gives a damn about real woman as long as the trans dude gets his way? Yikes. Story number 2. This comes out of Outkick. Comedy Central deletes Diversity Day episode at The Office. Comedy Central aired a marathon. Aired a marathon of The Office first season on Sunday, though promoted in chronological order. The network skipped the second episode, Diversity Day, omitting it from its rear air. Barstool Sports first picked it up on the episode's absence. Comedy Central did not respond to the outlet's request for comment because they were wrong. The episode is famous for a politically incorrect storyline which features boss Michael Scott forcing the paper company staff to participate in a racial diversity seminar where he speaks an exaggerated Indian accent and reprises Chris Rock's notorious stand-up routine about different kinds of black people, per the Daily Wire. Carol warned of this in 2018, saying that the show wouldn't make it in today's ultra-sensitive climate. It's impossible to do that show today and have people accept it the way it was accepted 10 years ago. The climate's different. I mean, the whole idea of the character, Michael Scott, is so much of it was predicated on inappropriate behavior. Anybody who's watched The Office knows exactly what I speak of. The brilliance of comedy is that not only makes us laugh, but it's powerful. Diversity Day doesn't promote racism. Instead, it mocks the wrong-mindedness of racism. Comedy Central is essentially saying that the viewers are incapable of understanding satire or comedy. We all know the left have no sense of humor. Quote, it's pathetic that a network dedicated to comedy lacks the courage or will to air sharp satire like Diversity Day, Emily Jashinsky correctly points out. What's more, no one has ever complained about the episode. This was Comedy Central's preemptively catering to a low-level blue check who could label its brand racist. The entertainment industry is desperately seeking to satisfy a group they will ultimately never appease. My thoughts. Absolutely correct. Comedy Central has become a leftist bastion of what you can see, what you can't see. But South Park is the exception. The creators of South Park over the last 20 years, wow, it's been on that long, have said the hell with conformity, have said the hell with leftist BS, but not totally out of the woods. There was an episode regarding Muhammad that was pulled because it was Muhammad. So, yeah, they're not totally off the hook, but for the most part, South Park has been able to do what they want, being politically incorrect. But this situation with The Office, I think, is ridiculous. But then again, I'm not surprised with Comedy Central and other networks bowing down, taking the knee, kissing the ass of leftist nonsense. Now we move on to our final story. This comes out of Outkick. Rachel Nichols, also like the last one, Rachel Nichols done at ESPN Network cancels her show. Rachel Nichols will no longer appear on ESPN as the network has canceled her daily program, The Jump, ESPN confirmed to Outkick on Wednesday. Nichols' days were numbered as soon as Amira Taylor leaked audio of Nichols stating in a private phone conversation with a third party that Taylor got her NBA Countdown job because of her skin color. Nichols was contractually scheduled to take over the Countdown job, but ESPN reneged, and he decided to appoint Taylor instead. Yes, we're going to go with a long-term veteran, and you know what? The hell with you. We're going to bring in somebody because of, skills? No. Skin color? Yes. There it is. David Roberts, Senior Vice President of NBA Productions, released his following statement on Nichols. We mutually agree that this approach regarding our NBA coverage was best for all concerned. Rachel is an excellent reporter, host and journalist. We thank her for her many contributions to our NBA content, and you're white, and we have to move on. Taylor's skin color was a factor in ESPN's decision to move her to Countdown. It's a factor in every one of ESPN's decisions. Denying it is like saying hot women don't get free drinks to cut in line. Looks matter in America. Race matters at ESPN. Ask any agent, manager, or executive off the record if they agree. Jalen Rose may call it tokenism if the winning recipient isn't white. Taylor didn't win the job merely because she is black, but in this climate, her skin color didn't hurt her chances. Her skin color clearly is a factor in contract negotiations, just like it was in Mike Golick's when ESPN decided to boot him out the door last year. The spineless leaker didn't send a Times Nichols audio because it was offensive, but because it contained leverage. Taylor killed Nichols' career in an effort to extort an unreasonable sum of money from ESPN during her own contract negotiations. ESPN said it will replace The Jump with a new daily NBA show before the start of the season, and I'm sure it'll be a woman, and she'll be black. Wow. My thoughts. Not surprised. They don't call it ESPN woke for nothing. And that's exactly what they have done. Prior to the new president a few years back, you had all this nonsense going on, slamming Trump and this, that, and the other, well, because I'm black and this person's white, we have a problem. New president comes in, supposedly clears everything out and says, listen, we're going to go back to sports the way sports was meant to be covered. But just like that very itchy boil on your ass, you just kept on scratching it. You thought it went away. No, it came back, and it came back with a fury. Situation with Nichols and Taylor, this whole dust up. Taylor tried to use it to her advantage by getting a multi-year contract deal and an outrageous sum, getting paid more than their number one, which happened to be Stephen A. Smith. But, of course, she is, I think Taylor has already left or is about to leave. So, like I said, the writing was on the wall for Nichols. But this suggestion goes out to every white personality at ESPN. Your days are numbered. Just like they came for her, they will come for you. Wow. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Peace.